said, yeah. Welcome to the Talk Your Ish podcast. It's your boy, motherfucker Jones, back with another one. This one here is a wrap up of my previous episode of Double Standards. This is part dose now. I appreciate my guest, Young Desi, aka Fuck It, aka Always Do You on Twitter. I loved our conversation. I loved our conversation not only because I got an insight to a woman's perspective that I not only tried to understand, but now got the understanding with having the words behind them. But having that conversation, I kind of noticed something. It was very interesting to see how little to no respect or regard for what I was saying was being taken. Or at least like how little understanding was had on the other side. And granted, I understand it's a lot of emotion on that side. It's a lot of passion behind the issues that we speak about, but we didn't really get to the nitty gritty of the double standards. We kind of focused on, the ins and outs of why the double standards happen. Now, these double standards are the gray areas that both men and women play in, but I realize there's a disconnect because I can't say I don't like something and still be for it. Like, I can't sit here and say fuck racism and have my mom being racist or my white homeboy being racist or whatever the case may be. So it's a fine line that you have to walk because you have to practice what you preach. So it goes back to what I was saying, like towards the end, people want understanding and don't know how to put that forth. It's like, I understand you want all of these things to change. And we understand we are trash. Men are trash. But it's only so much you can fault the trash if you keep falling in it. You know what I mean? Like, there are tell signs, there are things that goes on that, give you these ins and outs to how somebody is feeling about you or which direction they want to go with you. So these double standards, how we play in them is so interesting to me because shit, I would love a fucking free drink, bro. Like, I would dead ass love to get in the club for free just for being the guy. But we've been afforded these things for so long that now that society is built upon shit. Gary Vee said something pretty interesting. He was like, if you're a woman entrepreneur on social media right now, you're killing it. Not only can you use your talent, you can also use what God provided you with or whatever you can go and purchase. So it's like, for a guy, you got to be like super funny or you got to go super hard or be super outlandish or whatever the case may be. Granted, for women, you have to do that too on social media, but it's like that double standard now has shifted. And since it shifted, we have the ability to be like, yeah, we was fucking up. Like, we've been fucking up. And it's like, when you guys have double standards that are now contradicting how you feel as a woman and how you claim to feel as, feminist, womanist, equal rights, everything like that. It's like, you can't understand when somebody still calls a woman a hoe for being promiscuous. Because you have the same women turning around and calling a man a hoe for doing the same exact things. And it's like, so is he not a hoe or is he a hoe? Because these things, granted, we made them up, but they're not just like the stereotypes I said in my first or second episode. Like stereotypes were things that we cognitively jotted down that people were doing, and now we're saying that those people do these things, and it was just so happened that the majority did do these things. So it's like if you have women outright, you know, boastfully disrespecting men and then want to be respected, is it just doesn't go hand in hand, because you have to give respect to get respect, and understandably we've been shitty. Like I said last episode, we've been shitty. But this is our accountability part. Now, just how if you're doing something wrong or you want someone to just be that listening ear or whatever the case may be, this is our time. Now, since the axis has shifted, it's kind of difficult for you guys to see that, but and we as men, we're not gonna sit here and try and, you know, voice to you our feelings. Like that's the double standard of it all. You want a man to express his feelings, but when he does, you kind of downplay how he's feeling because your feelings are more prominent, and you know, justifiably so. But you can't expect somebody to want to express themselves and do all of these things that you want them to do if you're not accepting of them doing it. I don't know. It's interesting how we categorize the same behavior that men or women do differently just due to these double standards. Like even the paternity and maternity thing. Like you watch Paternity Court all the time. Maury Povich has made a living off that shit for like 25 years. I now start watching, what's her name? Lauren Lakey or Lake or whatever the hell her name is. Black woman. She's, you know, she does the whole court thing, you know, paternity. Is he the father? Is he not the father? I find it so interesting how so many more episodes we find infidelity on both parts. Granted, men are cheating, women are cheating to get back at the men, but she always says something that is very significant to me. Men don't bring babies into situations. I don't care what you're doing. If you can't take accountability for your actions in a situation and you try and play the part of victim, it's just gonna fall on deaf ears because your actions are contradicting. And that's what happens a lot of the times, because it's like, oh, I'm an independent woman, I'm this, I'm that, but then the first thing you do is you jumping in a nigga section to get some free drinks. Like, if a nigga feels like he could buy you, he's gonna approach you like he can buy you. Like, I don't know. It's this gray area that we love to play in that kind of makes it even worse for us living normally, us actually being cognitive of our decisions and our actions. Because like if we got guy code and girl code, like I tried to speak about last episode, guys ain't really telling their friends not to fuck with shorty. They gonna say she was a hoe, they gonna say whatever the case may be, you know, don't wife her, but they're not gonna do things to jeopardize that relationship. I've been in situations where, though I'm doing what I should be doing as a boyfriend, people or women will get together and start this whole little like coalition to like bring a nigga down, and like they'll all be on the same side, no matter if it's true or not. And I find that very interesting. Cause it's like guys will be like, yeah, that's a hoe, but then if she turns around, like, fuck it, bro. Like she loyal to you, she loyal to you. Even guys will wife hoes. But you have women that are out here like, yo, I would never this, that, and the third. I don't like a guy that has eyes for everyone, this, that, and the third. And then we get that like weird little shame, and it's like you do the same thing, and then when you have actions being met by similar actions and then one side is being demonized more so than the other, it kind of creates that unbalance. And that unbalance has been like trickling into the dating world and into just regular conversations. Like, you can't even hear me out because you feel a way about me even explaining something to you. Now I'm mansplaining. That term fucking kills me. It's hilarious. I don't know. I feel like we're all pieces of shit, to be honest. Men and women alike. The difference is we're realizing the shift. The shift has been on one side for a long time. And just like with anything, whether we have racism or our government or whatever you want to put a magnifying glass on, it's it's seen as though if you can't directly attack what's going on in these situations and say, okay, we're both accountable in this and that, we're not going to move forward. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know. Uh, it's just very interesting to me to see the dynamic between the two genders that are supposed to be living cohesively fight so viciously. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we're both doing the same things, bro. Like, just be accountable, and it is what it is. Move on. Do better. Till next time. I'm out. All right, guys. I want you guys to check the description below, get a little breakdown of what this video was about. Like and subscribe, you know. Keep tuning in, keep rocking with your boy. You feel me? I'll see you later.